Okay, so we're going to start at the beginning here. This is the beginning of the novel, and it's Cassandra waiting for her husband to come home. It's late at night. Oh God, William was back. A woman shouldn't be afraid of her husband. The clicking of a key shouldn't cause shivers or panic. Neither should footsteps climbing the carpeted stairs or even a familiar voice. There should be a warmth and anticipation, love, even if just a more subdued kind, the kind molded by all those years of shared events. Mistakes should be forgiven in a normal average marriage, and the little secret, some mild, even silly, the new beaded purse from Macy's, some perhaps not so mild, yet still human, should have been leaden weights in one's heart. My little secret would be grounds for serious punishment if discovered. Yet, if I had spoken to my husband about my decision, it might have enraged him even more. William was unpredictable and could be irrational. Nothing was normal or average about my marriage to William, and the anxiety of his presence was renewed every time I heard the screeching of his brakes in the driveway. Now, William is an alcoholic. He's a man who doesn't have a good job. He has a job. He's an attorney, but he's not doing very well because he has some mental problems and he has started drinking. And she has been married to him for a long time, and they have a child, a son. So she doesn't know any better, and she does not know what to do in her life, how to get out of this marriage. She's afraid. And as I tell the story to people, all the people who read the book, they're telling me, oh, I know people like that, because there are a lot of women in that position. And, that's another reason I wrote the book. I want that to be, known. There are a lot of women are in either physical or psychologically abusing marriages, and they don't know how to get out of it. So this is Cassandra's one of them. Then we have Natalie. Natalie is a single teacher who has a boyfriend, but she's not so crazy about him. Okay, it's a boring relationship already. They are not married. So, because of the situation where these two women find themselves, and they meet at a doctor's office, and I'm going to tell you the first chapter again, Natalie, the teacher, sees this woman at the doctor's office who looks very nervous. Cassandra is very nervous because she went to get a birth control injection because she wants to make sure that she does not have any more children with her husband. And he wants her to. So she did not tell him that she's doing this. And she's terrified that he's going to find out. But she's so stressed and nervous about this that she is sort of in a daze. And when she walks out of the doctor's office, she sort of like hits the wall for a second. So Natalie, for some strange reason, finds that compelling, and she wants to help her. So she follows her, and the Cassandra drives to the waterfront in Assini, which is an area I know very well because I live there, and watches her walk into the mall. Now, because I teach Italian, sometimes the English words don't come to me. How do you say mall in English? The part that sticks out into the water. What is that called?
The pier?
Yes, thank you, the pier. Yes, she walks into the pier and she sits there. Now, Natalie thinks that the woman wants to kill herself because she looks so upset. So she approaches her and they start talking, and everything starts here. And a lot of things happen. Friendship develops, and new men enter their lives. And one of them is a Spanish writer, hence the title of the book, The Summer of the Spanish Writer. He's a man. A lot of people thought I was talking about a female writer and think that I sort of I turned myself Spanish, and no, it's not about me. There's about a man who's a writer from Spain. One of the main characters, and his name is Gabriel Castillo Villanueva, something like that. I don't even remember anymore, or they're mixed up. But anyway, he's a main, very important character. And then there is a musician from Lansdowne Park, who's not a real musician from the group that I know. So in case you guys from Lansdowne Park see this, I'm not talking about you. This is completely created. You don't even have a keyboard. So there you go. Nobody's real, but you know, ideas. But anyway, so that's how the book starts, and the story develops, and it's very fast, fast-paced, and so many events happen, and it has a heartbeat, this story. You will feel like you're reading, especially when you read about Cassandra. You're going to find yourself like, what's going to happen now? Because she is in this really crazy situation that her husband doesn't know that she's going places because he's very overprotective of her. And he thinks that he's doing the right thing by keeping her home all the time. He doesn't want her to do anything. So she's very stressed, but she wants to fly a little bit. And this friend is helping her. But then there's a Spanish writer comes into the picture. Oh, he changes everything because, you know, then feelings of friendship, and then it turns into passion, you know. The book is clean, by the way. It's a clean book. I'm a mother. I write clean books. But there's a lot of hinting, okay? Okay, what else here? Let's see. Okay, another thing that I do with my characters, just for fun, because so you don't get bored. I never get bored when I'm writing because I write about interesting things. But I throw myself in there. Oh, I'm not a character. I'm a spectator. Like, let's see if I can find it over here. There's this part that takes place in Chinatown, New York City, Chinatown. See, I put all these notes here because I don't want to give anything away, okay? Okay, so I'll just start reading a little bit to you. This is in the words of Natalie, the teacher. I held her arm and we walked away from the restaurant, drawing few glances from people, most of them brief and instantly dismissive. Only a little girl in pigtails, her small hand secured in her mother's grip, looked up at Cassandra with bright blue eyes that were the happy blue color of the sea freshly painted by a child on the classroom's easel. She caught my glance and gave me an unsure smile that could have been sympathy or merely shyness. That was my daughter. My daughter when she was little, and we went to Chinatown. And there she was with little pigtails, walking around and pointing at different things. So I'm there. I'm following Cassandra and Natalie, who just walked out of this Vietnamese restaurant where I just went. And so there is also a description of this Vietnamese restaurant and of the food in there. And so they started walking through the streets of Chinatown. We kept walking along the narrow street, passing shop after shop, bursting with gaudy souvenirs, cheap toys, but also incredibly attractive Chinese dresses in every possible shade. The little girl in pigtails who had passed us a few minutes before was standing by one of the stores, mesmerized by a plastic basket filled with mechanical frogs. Her mother, a slender woman with long brown hair. I used to have brown hair. I'm not a natural blonde. With an almost disturbing resemblance to Cassandra, had her hand on a child's shoulder and her eyes fixed on the glittery dresses hanging like a thick curtain from a high pole, swaying gently as women reached up and touched them even as they just walked by. She seemed particularly taken with a gorgeous one, deep red, suffused with a warm sheen of embroidered with bundles of delicate pink, peach, and lavender flowers, and tiny pistachio green leaves scattered throughout the silk fabric, and was commenting enthusiastically about its beauty to no one in particular. Cassandra, even in an obvious misery, paused for a moment and touched the dancing hem of the same dress, probably never even realizing she was doing so. $60, an elderly Chinese woman said eagerly, appearing stealthily by her side. This fits you nice, she continued. You small, like Chinese woman. Now, this is exactly what happened to me. I was there, and I was looking at these dresses, and my daughter was looking at the mechanical frog, and the woman ran up to me, and she said that. I bought the dress, by the way. It's gorgeous, long red dress, embroidered, exactly what I described. And my daughter got a frog. And yeah, so I was there. I was following them. So I know, I was stealthily behind them, and so I know what's going on, trying to find out what they were whispering about, because they were very interesting. So I put myself in the scene. So I have another scene in this book right here, where I'm in the Scarsdale, in a bookshop that is not there anymore, that I used to love. And next to that, there is a French kitchenware store that I love called La Dentière. And I changed the name of it because I don't know copyright things, you know, I don't know these things, so I don't want to get myself in trouble. So I had Diana, the character from this book, go in there, and I created the store owner, who's not the store owner, was there. It's a really crazy little woman with a lot of bangles on her arm, who was artistic. So I created a whole new character. However, when Diana pulls in, drives to find a parking place, I pull out from my minivan that I had at the time. So I talk about a blue minivan pulling out of the parking place, and Diana pulls in with her Jeep, and she takes my place. That was me pulling out. I let her have the place. I just play with myself, you know, in this sense, play with my characters like this. And I have another scene that in this book, which is a bagel shop. Diana is there on a cell phone talking frantically to her mother, and because she's waiting for a phone call from her lover. But her mother calls her, and so she's annoyed with her mother. And I'm there with my daughter, waiting in line behind her, while she's buying bagels. So I play my little mind games, so it's more interesting. And also, I stick characters from one book into the other. There is a couple in this book that appears at the end of this one, in the scene. When the other characters are there, they see this other couple and they start talking about them and they're looking at them. It's the characters from this book who traveled into the other novel. They're all things to make your writing more interesting to yourself and to others. So if you put a lot of emotion and feelings and of yourself into the story, the readers will pick that up and they will find it more interesting and they can feel everything. Now, let me see if I can read you another little piece I wanted to do. Which one was that? I read this. Okay, now Cassandra here, changing scenes. Changing the mood of the person based on the description. Cassandra goes to Lasden Park for the first time ever. I don't know if anybody has ever been to Lasden Park. Yeah. It's a beautiful, beautiful, exciting place. The music is wonderful in the summer, and it's very calming, the area. But she goes there for the first time, coming from this household of incredible stress and pressure. Also, the family is in a financial mess, and they're actually afraid to lose their house. Everything is happening. So this was written a while ago. Again, everything is always timely, though, right? This things with the economy. Okay, so let's see Lasden Park right here. The first thing I noticed was the light. It was somewhat different here, interspersed with mellow breezes, calm beauty, and freedom. I had come to Lasden Park, or rather, my new friend Natalie had brought me here in her perky little Ford Focus. I allowed my gaze to wander uncensored over the manicured landscape of luxuriant greens, and rounded and sharp-edged rocks, and stones onto which bounced the feathery sunlight. An air of relaxed anticipation permeated the crowd, a gentle crowd of jazz lovers of all ages, sizes, and colors, who unpacked their neat lunches, sun umbrellas, and some of them folding strollers. So suddenly, she's in this quiet haven, folding strollers. When I started going there, I had a folding stroller because I had my daughter, my youngest daughter, who's now in high school. She was there. So, I bring all of these things into the story so that it makes it very real to people. And they can make a connection with the writer and with the characters. Because if you don't make a connection with the characters, you will find the book boring. Yeah. So you need to understand. And when you're reading, you want to know what's going to happen next. Because you care about these people, you care about the characters, and you want good things to happen to them. It doesn't always happen. But, you want to know. I write, I hope, and I want to write the kind of book that I like to read. When I go to bed, I like to read for a little bit. And and sometimes I can't put down the book because my eyes are closing, but the story is so interesting. It doesn't have to be exciting like a million things happening at the same time, but exciting in a way of feelings, because I can feel the characters and I know the struggle or whatever it is, and I want to know what are they going to feel next, what is going to happen next, what is going to change. So that's the kind of book I write, what I like to read. I want to feel this connection to my characters, and I want them to be real. And when I close this book, I want to say, oh my God, I lost a friend. And that's why the people, this book is also used in book clubs, both of them actually, local book clubs. And the people say, please write a sequel. What happens next? You left her there, you left him there. Are these people going to get together? What is going to happen to that child? They want to know. And you know, yes, I have so many ideas for it, but I have so little time. So, you know, I would like to follow all of my characters. I've written other novels too, which I've not published. But I've written 5 novels altogether. And one of them is a sequel to another one. But then I realized that you should launch one first before you write the sequel, because otherwise, you know, they're both staying there and nobody's aware of the other one. The publishing business is complicated, very complicated. Thank goodness for online publishing. That makes life a lot easier for writers. A lot, and for readers. I mean, this book is not only available as a softcover, but also it's on iTunes, it's on Amazon, it can be downloaded digitally. I mean, in all different formats. I can download it on my iPhone. I mean, it's so it's at Portata di Tutti. Again, my Italian came out. I can't remember. It's at so that everyone can has access to it. I can remember the English expression, blank, complete. It will come to me later. But anyway, so that so it makes life a lot easier for everyone, the writer and the reader.